Yeah.
Who's rapping? Overkeen. Dragons? I'm not overkeen. I'll dice them like a knife, slicing right through an aubergine. My dragon shout flow is sweeter than a soda stream. You won't believe your eyes. I'm like an overload of dopamine. A broadsword in one hand and a magic spell in the other. I'm the last of the dragonborn. There's no other, my brother, to run for cover. If you've got scales, then I'm on your tail, and I will not fail like a free roaming sandbox game.
Welcome to the 32nd edition of a Skyrim Addict podcast roundtable. It's the season 6. It's the first episode of season 6. We are the show who compares and contrasts Skyrim experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, so first off, we should just go around the room and say hello to everyone joining us. We have, of course, some of our old timers, and we've got some new timers involved in the show this year. So, and guys, there's just been a giant influx of traffic onto the Facebook group and onto the Twitter page, and just this new release of Skyrim has really blown a new breath of life, of fresh air into this game, and into our podcast community as well. So let's treat this like some people are coming at this show for the first time, like they don't know what the round table is and all that sort of stuff.
I still don't know what it is.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out ourselves. That's for damn sure. So coming all the way from across the pond, we'll say hello to Colin.
Evening, guys. My name's Colin. I'm calling in from Essex in England.
I love the
Great to
Colin.
be
Colin, yes, thank you, Colin. We love having you. Colin is believe been on every roundtable episode so far, so a solid true heart. And Colin, thank you so much for joining us again. And Victor, hello Victor, how are you this evening, sir?
Hey, I'm pretty good. I am Victor. I'm calling in from the beautiful Hudson Highlands of New York State.
Beautiful. I'm glad to have you again. Victor is another one who's also been, I believe, on every episode of the roundtable. So thank you guys for joining me, especially. And joining us from season 2 on is Juan. Hello Juan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing? I'm calling in from Escondido, California.
It's great to have you on.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's great. He had to duck out a little bit. I don't want to get in too much into your personal reasons. You can reveal that if you're comfortable with that in the group or whatever, but he had to duck out a little bit of the Fallout 4 group last year, so we're glad to have him back in the Skyrim Roundtable this year. And we have the Podfather himself has decided to join us with the season 6 of the Roundtable. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Hello. I am calling from beautiful New Jersey.
Thank you.
Jersey.
Thank you so much for doing that.
I've only been on a few roundtable apps, actually. I haven't been on that many, I don't think.
You've made it through quite a few episodes themselves, whole seasons. I'm not sure. You tend to be running so many characters yourself at one time, depending on what you're doing in the normal show.
Yeah,
and plus, now you have a Let's Play aspect to the feed as well. So you've got at least 3 different characters probably going at any one time. So jumping on and off it'll have to be understandable. That's awesome, and we're glad to have you, of course. So thanks for joining us, Michael.
That didn't sound sincere.
No, it's 100%.
Andrew is from Indiana. He's not capable of being in here.
Am I going to have to cancel another show today and scare everybody again?
That's how we have to talk to Bob Dylan fans around here. And last but not least, we are joined by Pat. Hello, Pat. How are you, sir?
Hey, Andrew. This is Pat, joining from the tail end of the main line, Philadelphia suburbs.
Are you near the Blue Route?
A little further west than the Blue Route.
Okay. See, I don't really know anything. I didn't drive a ton because I was in high school, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm right around the corner from your high school, Andrew.
Yeah, that's incrable. I can't believe that you're...
really?
Yeah. Pat lives like he could,
2 miles from where
I went to high school. It's incredible.
Yeah.
The King of Prussia Mall, everybody shout out. Woot woot.
Yeah, I remember. Oh God, when my wife went to Ursinus, so I used to stop there quite a bit. Nobody here knows what Ursinus is, probably except for Pat. So
yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
So Pat, this will be your first adventure into Skyrim.
Yeah,
this is your first
joining in season 6, like Oliver and the Brady Bunch.
That's really funny. So this is your first time you're playing Skyrim. You've avoided it up to now in your past, and kudos to you for that. But we drew you in, and now you're stuck. How many roundtables have you been a part of? Is this your first roundtable?
This is the first roundtable. So for Fallout, I did a bunch of the commentary episodes. I think you and Dennis and I did a lot of the listening to commentary. I think I participated in sending in commentary, but I wasn't a core roundtabler.
Well, welcome to the roundtable, and you'll
Thank
most
you.
definitely be involved in
Thanks.
the Fallout roundtable. Everyone, do not worry; it will resume in spring of 2017. So stay tuned for that.
A New Vegas roundtable. I can't believe you just announced that.
Well, actually, Fallout Feed has. We've been doing a little bit of work in the background, and we're possibly also going to put together a Let's Play aspect to our show because we're jealous of all the success that you guys over at a Skyrim Addict have. So we might, just to sort of keep a nice, lively community around Fallout while some of the attention shifts back over to Skyrim for a little bit. We'll try to keep some lively interaction going on over in the Fallout community as well. So we'll keep everyone informed as to that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So we've got a bunch of new characters to get into. Speaking of feedback, actually, we should do that really quickly. Anyone, if you're out there and you're listening, this is your first time playing Skyrim, or you've played it before, and you're revisiting. What you should do.
It's like Juan's never done this before.
No, it's just I have the game. Is that muted? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay,
We just heard everything.
I was trying to mute my mic.
Whoops.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So if anyone out there is interested in doing a play-along character, we always encourage that. What used to happen is that you would contact us, and then we would draw little names out of little cups that I had sitting around, and I would, by hand, draw you a character and send you back an email with all the information. But now it's much easier and cleaner than that. What you can do now is go to asapodcasting.com and click over on the Skyrim Addict section. Scroll down a little bit, and you'll see something that says a phrase similar to Skyrim Roundtable Character Sheet or something, random character sheet. Click on that. You can refresh it a few times and wait for it to spit out a new set of attributes for you. And then please let us know what you're doing in the game. If you do draw up a new character, we'd love to hear from you at skyrimroundtable@gmail.com. That's skyrimroundtable@gmail.com. Please, you can use your voice memo app on your phone. That is perfectly fine for our purposes. Just give us a few minutes of feedback. Tell us what quests you did, some interesting things you found. But be sure, what really makes this project great is the little tiny differences that everyone has within their experiences. So if there's any weird stuff that happened in your playthrough or something that unexpected happens, please mention that in your feedback. Those are the aspects that really make this project pop. So hit us up at skyrimroundtable@gmail.com with a voicemail and or email, of course. Those can also be read. But we were going to change the format. The last few that we have done, people have been doing feedback just sort of tacked on the end of the show. But with the Fallout feed, the last session we did, we had people submit their feedback, and then we kind of interacted with it live and sort of played it on the air and then spoke about it and played some more and spoke about it. So we're thinking about doing that a little bit. So we're probably not going to tack them at the end of the roundtable episodes, but Michael was thinking maybe we'll do those on some of the normal Skyrim Addict feed, just so maybe Colin and Victor and people, when they get together on their normal days and record, they can do some feedback with that. So if that's still the plan, that sounds awesome to me.
I think
you guys want to do that.
I think we have a lot so far, right?
Oh, do we? We have at least 3 or 4 audios that have come in, so you don't have to do them all at once either, or you can do them all at once, whatever you want to do.
Because of this upcoming next 2 weeks, spoiler alert, this is recorded ahead of time. The next 2 weeks, I'll actually be away the next 2 weekends. So not to make it too much later, maybe I'll do 1 or so in a solo show, and then we can get together and have a couple too for when people send them in.
Yeah, great.
So,
sounds good.
For this first set here, as long as you have them in by that first weekend of December, because that'll be the earliest, I would think.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to do. Sounds good. So yeah, get your feedback in. Again, this is a community-based project. We really can't do this sort of thing without you guys, so please tell your friends too. Get them involved, and we'll have a good time doing this. Victor, I probably went over everything in general, but I feel like maybe I was sort of scattergunned in the introduction a little bit. Could you please just give me a 30-second elevator pitch about what the Roundtable is?
Hang on, let me get in the elevator here. So let's see. First floor? No, there's a 13th floor. Okay. So the Roundtable is, well, it's a group of people who get together who have either drawn by little pieces of paper or in a nice spreadsheet app, randomly generated diverse characters, and who get together and, having done an assigned series of quests, all the same quests each person does with their disparate characters, they get together and they talk about their experiences of the quests. And the quests are different for each different type of character. So it tends to be an interesting and, as you say, lively discussion. So that is the elevator pitch for the Roundtable. Ding. Time to get off.
Great. And Colin, do you have any final thoughts about what we're trying to accomplish with the Roundtable project in general?
No, I wasn't really listening. Could somebody unmute Juan? I muted him.
That's fine.
Because something was banging, and now I can't unmute him.
Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can. Juan, you're gone forever.
Can Juan unmute himself?
I think so, but he was playing the game, so I don't think he can get out of. I think that he might have had the whole thing up
there. Now he's
there. There you are.
He probably
Sorry,
brought himself.
That's okay. I didn't realize I was muted.
So we
Colin,
heard
this
a
is
little
America.
clicking.
There's free speech here, at least until January 20th, okay?
Oh,
So
no.
you can't go around muting Americans, no matter how much you might want to.
He can do whatever he wants. He's Brexit. Oh, great. So
what we were talking about,
Yes.
Roundtable. Right. Do I have anything to add to everything that
you just
Victor
ignored.
said that I wasn't listening to? Skyrim's great. Thumbs up.
Thank you for those
man.
thoughts.
Yay.
No, yeah, so just welcome everyone, especially all the new people to the show. This will be... We're going to go through quests one by one. We're not going to try to spoil too far ahead of time before we get to anything. This show will be helpful to you in that we will get into lots of the nitty-gritty of crafting, how to do things one by one, the enchanting, the alchemy, the smithing, that sort of stuff. We'll also get into role-playing a lot. I am not much of a role-player, but we have people in the group who are just incredible about developing these really lush backstories. So that's another really nice aspect of the show. Some more... It'll be really instructional and helpful, and it's a group activity because everyone is playing the quest together and comparing their experiences. So anyone new to the show, we welcome you in, and thank you so much for subscribing to the podcast. And please stick around because we've been playing Skyrim, well, some of us since day one. I picked it up a couple years after, but some of us have been playing since day one. So, we have a complete dedication to the game, and we'll be doing this a long time. So stick around, and welcome to the family, everyone.
So,
Just ignore the game show. It's the podcast that makes us forget stuff.
Couldn't even remember where stuff is.
No, I couldn't remember anyone's names.
So, Andrew, just to be clear for people listening first, we will be spoilerific for the quests that are in this episode.
Yes,
right?
we're not holding back on
necessarily
anything.
for later ones.
We basically are doing 3 quests per chunk, and there's a month between recording sessions. So, we will be going slowly if this is your first time. If you want to pace it out and do a bunch of stuff and experience the game and let it really unfold in front of you without rushing through, play along with us, really. We are going at a great pace. This will be a great pace to let the game unfold organically in front of you. It'll give you plenty of time to do side quests once you complete the assigned quests. There's tons of side stuff to do in this game if this is your first time through. So please, just relax and enjoy. Don't feel rushed to play through it. A lot of people like to just get through a game. This is not one of those games if this is your first time. Just play along with us. It'll be a good 5 months or so. So, I know that sounds ridiculous at this point, but seriously, that is a good, solid one-character playthrough for this kind of game.
Yeah, feel free to wander off and do a million other things.
So we're gonna be slow paced with it.
I think what it means is that we don't start talking about diplomatic immunity and sort of like Alduin's Bane and stuff like that while we're on talking about the first few ones, so it won't spoil it for like the main quest. I mean, yeah, we can talk about stuff that we'd probably do in other quests, as we're running around. But these main quests, he doesn't want us talking about and spoiling what's coming up in the future.
Yep. Yeah, it's not so much for me, Colin, because I'm not worried about spoilers for me because it's my choice to be away from the game and then come in. But for there's other new players. It'd be nice if new players could sort of safely listen along to the roundtable.
Play along.
Yeah, right. Play along. Like I've been listening to some of Michael's original, way early, not 1, not 2 episodes, and not worrying about spoilers. Because I feel like in these games, there's so much depth that even if you get spoiled on one little small aspect, there is plenty to still focus on. And half the time I forget even if I hear a spoiler, if I play the quest like 3 weeks later, I've forgotten the spoiler by the time I get there anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's my position always. I tend to.
I don't remember anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And there's still fuckers. There's still
a Dawn Guard who quits.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I had an encounter like that the other day too, with some guy who's trying to be a mage and has some staff or something that he wants to be. I've never met that one before either. Yeah,
it was like his father's staff, right?
Yeah, I was trying to cross him too. Did they add that in?
No, that's been there.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, that one I'd run into him.
Yeah.
I came across him the other day out somewhere between Whiterun and out in the plains there to the west of Whiterun.
Can someone explain this in more detail? Who is this mage?
It just says aspiring.
That's just it. He's not a mage.
He's not a mage.
Right.
He's definitely not a mage. He's barely aspiring to be a mage.
He's a dumb, stupid Nord. I know that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
But I will notice. I would say that before, when you may have met, he wouldn't have had the staff because it kind of glitched where it says you're talking about staff, but it was never in his hand. Especially on my 360 version, it was never in his hand. They've cleaned it up where they've done the thing. They've cleaned it up so you can actually see it now.
So
it's like a staff of raised zombie or something like that, or is it different for each instance of it?
I think it might be level based.
Is it level?
Okay.
Yeah, because I think at one point I had one where it was a summon and Atronach.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Huh. I like those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can either persuade him to give up the staff, or I think you can pay him for it, or you can insult him, and then he just ignores you.
I did. He ignored me, and then I had to kill him to take it.
Of course
I needs it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I need to know what that staff is. Where are you going? And he turned his back on me, and then I double fireballed him in the back.
Gimme.
Oh, well.
I had to go find him, too, because we were, heading up into the mountain, at the foothills, and he went flying, I don't even know where. So far, it was insane.
Yeah, those fireballs will send them out to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he was getting pretty good across the ice.
Has anyone noticed any other obvious differences in Skyrim Special Edition?
I think I mentioned one the last time. Werewolves. When you used to go werewolf, when you used to turn back into a human, you always ended up naked, didn't you?
Yes, that's true. They did. I read that somewhere. They've changed that. Yes,
they've changed that.
Nice. Go back to what you had on.
Yeah, it's all fully equipped again.
Oh, nice.
That's convenient.
Yeah, because
nice.
Yep. You also now you get 2 butterfly wings instead of 1.
Really?
That's yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
And it's something else it said. Now I don't know if this is a mod or if this is the update to the remaster, but it also says catch and kill a butterfly. I just noticed that yesterday. I don't remember it ever saying that before.
And kill. I wonder what the kill aspect brings you.
I don't know. I don't know if that's one of the mods I have loaded or not, but
interesting.
So,
how do you think you got the wings? You didn't donate them. For
well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I mean, yeah, but it doesn't say catch and kill an Abyssinian longfin. It just,
if they added it to the script, it must do something. You know what I mean?
Know.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel guilty about killing a butterfly.
Yeah. I was gonna say, somebody's been walking around all of Skyrim with a big bag of glitter as well. Have you noticed the snow?
Oh yeah, yep. The snow's very glittery. I have to say the rendering distance is awesome though on the consoles compared to what it was. I mean, I can't believe how far you can actually see it on the console version.
Yeah, it is quite a lot. Yep. It looks great. I have to say, I've been. It's kind of fun for me because I'm such a PC, player. But I did play Skyrim on my 360 originally, and it's kind of fun to go back. I've been playing. I haven't looked at the hours I've played. It's maybe 10 at the most on the Xbox One. But it's been fun going back to a controller and to have a few mods. As well.
Yeah, you're not as skilled as Jeremy, but we'll have as many as he loaded.
30, 40 going or something?
Oh my God, really? No, I think I have maybe 12 or 15 or something.
I think you said 36.
Oh my.
Holy moly.
I've been adding a few here and there, but I haven't got that many yet. So
yeah, he's loving it.
That's great. Jeremy had not played a ton of Skyrim, if I remember right.
He played a little.
He played some, I'm glad he's enjoying the mods.
He found out he couldn't kill children, so then he just rage quit.
There's no mod for killing children yet?
I thought there was.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So mod-wise, anybody have anything exciting? I guess most of you guys have probably played mods before, besides me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, have you been enjoying the mods?
There's plenty that I have activated and immediately deactivated because I thought they're terrible.
Interesting. Careful with that, by the way. Make sure you don't deactivate it on a save you're using.
No, I had a special character I set up just for messing with mods.
Excellent.
Good idea. Yeah.
Nice.
But that doesn't necessarily save me because, on Xbox, even if you have different profiles, you still have to write down which mods you have loaded for which character. It's still a pain in the ass.
That is a pain.
Why?
Yeah.
What is the point of having a profile if you can't save by profile? That is the purpose of a profile, is it not? To be able to have individual things saved that aren't saved on the other profile? I don't understand that. They might as well not even call it a profile.
It's difficult to do on a console.
Jeez, I don't even get it. And anyway, there are plenty that I am loving. The main ones that I haven't enjoyed are adding followers, and I added it and didn't like.
What? You don't like more followers?
There was one that was a miniature dwarven centurion, and he just talked way too much, and I didn't think his quips were all that great or anything. So I unloaded that pretty quickly. But what ones that I do appreciate, and you guys are gonna probably call me out on this too, but I loaded up invincible dogs because I always got shitty if I'd have to reload because I'm not gonna go through on a save file if my dog dies. I'm gonna reload and play that damn dungeon again. Mm-hmm. So
did you get fancy hats of Skyrim also?
No, I have not looked at that. Is that I do like fancy hats. One thing I'm excited about, I heard that the armors one, Victor, help me out.
Oh, Immersive Armors?
Immersive Armors popped up on the Nexus for SE, so I'm hoping that eventually it'll bleed over to Xbox.
I was reading up on that a little bit. He has said that he is working on it, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, I assumed it wouldn't be anytime soon. But
well, he needs. One of the things he said was he needs permission from all, because Immersive Armors is a compilation of stuff that he got from other people. So
that's right.
He put this big thing together, so he needs to get permission for every single one of his contributors.
What if those people aren't around or doing it anymore. So
Who knows?
Yeah.
Or he'll probably take that piece of armor out.
Oh God, that sucks. Too bad.
Yeah. So it's a huge mod anyway. I mean, it's almost a gig.
I always remember loving Colin's pictures. He would upload a bunch of cool pictures. I just really like the armor style and the depth and really intricate
awesome
colorations and cool shapes and textures and stuff. It just looked really neat. Speaking of shapes and textures, there's what was that one called? There's some sort of textures one.
Oh, the SMIM, the Static Mesh Improvement mod, or
yeah. Is that on Xbox One yet?
Oh yeah, it's been up for a couple
Nice,
weeks
good,
or a
good,
week
good.
Or so now. It's that's meshes. It's not textures. It
meshes.
makes things.
Victor, I don't know the difference. You know that.
Better.
You know I don't know the difference.
Well, the difference is with better meshes, the ropes on the porches in Riverwood and various other places are going to actually look like ropes instead of flat pieces of shit. And the barrels look better. You can actually see the metal bands in the barrels.
What about you walk up to trees and the branches? Are they going to be flat different from one angle?
A little bit better, but
that bothers me when they're like paper thin. They look great from one angle, and then you move 45 degrees over here, and then they look like a paper thin. I'm just like, why could you not give just a little thickness to that? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I? I'm not programming the damn thing.
Do they have a Quality World map and Solstheim map for the consoles?
I haven't seen it yet. No,
I didn't see it yet.
That's one of my favorites.
I want roads on my maps. Damn it!
The only map I've done is Clouds Be Gone or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you know what popped up was the Baron's Eye quest markers popped up.
Oh yes,
I saw that, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get that one. Baron's Eye stones. I'll have to get that. Yeah.
Can I add that in at any time?
Yeah, it's just quest markers. So the only thing you need to do to activate them is you have to actually go down into the Thieves Guild and actually talk, give the jewel to Vex and then start the quest.
Okay.
It won't show up until then. They won't show up until then.
Okay, cool.
That's how it was on the PC one. I would assume it's the same.
Yeah, I started my faction and got my first Baron's Eye stone, so I figured I might as well just do all of them.
Nice.
Oh.
See, I only picked them and collected them all through like one character, maybe two. I have to but I've made a point of avoiding them just because I don't like having 16 unidentified stones in my inventory or whatever. It just doesn't look nice.
Well, the good thing is they don't add any weight.
Yeah, they don't add weight. That's good, but not that they'd be that heavy anyway. They're just little.
But they
gems.
clutter it up, and I wish they would
They
stack
do,
in the
yeah.
inventory.
Yeah,
but they don't.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah, it's
nice.
all separate. It's like,
That is
Yeah, I think only like 2 or 3 stack on each other, which makes no sense to me.
weird. That is
I thought
one.
somebody told me once that they stack until you talk to a certain person, and then they stop stacking. Is that correct?
oh, they stack until you start the quest of Vex. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all come up as unknown gem, and they'll stack the whole time. You talk to Vex, then it comes up with Baron's Eye Stone, Baron's Eye Stone.
And then
That
they're
makes sense.
individuals. Ugh.
Yeah.
Stupid. So not to rush our conversation around, I didn't know if anybody had any other observations between the old version and the new version, or mods, anything they want to talk about. But of course, we gotta talk to Pat about his first impressions of the game. He's never experienced this before. Just as a noob, we gotta hear what Pat's doing. We also got to get into all of our character introductions. We're about half an hour in, so let's go ahead and start rolling into this. Pat, initial impressions before character introductions. What do you got?
No, it's well, part of it's just purely personal because it's really good to be back into a fantasy setting. For me, it's haven't been in a fantasy setting as opposed to like a Fallout setting for a long time. It definitely goes back to not just to fantasy gaming, but like literally like all the way back to tabletop gaming and everything. Just because there's the whole fantasy milieu is kind of is sort of a a lot of consistency from one to the other. This one is very complete. There's all manner of even though there's not like technically classes, there's all manner of things that you'd see like from a D&D or similar kind of fantasy setting. So I'm really enjoying that. That's really taken me back in a really nice way. So the setting, really enjoying the setting. I don't have the level of comparison between the prior version and special edition like you guys do, but clearly the quality of the graphics, I'm going completely unmodded, at least for this first playthrough, and its graphics quality is terrific. the occasional glitches like you get with any kind of complex game, but nothing really serious. The only time a glitch really sort of confused me was the first time I had a random dragon attack. So there's the first dragon, which we won't get to because that's next episode. But there's a dragon. You eventually have a second. There's another dragon encounter, and then eventually you get to the stage where there's wandering dragons or random dragons. The first time I had that, I was getting the dragon rumbling, and there was some crazy spinning thing in the scene, and I thought, what the hell is this? Like some kind of freakish spell or trap? Because I just come out of a dungeon and there was this crazy spinning thing, and a dragon was attacking. So I dealt with the dragon, and I go over and look at the crazy spinning thing. It was a snow fox that had glitched out, and it was rotating like 100 RPM, just zooming around. It was like the tail of a snow fox, but I thought it was actually something intentional. So you get crazy stuff like that. But that one was you see stuff like that in any complex console or PC game. But just because I thought it was actually real, supposed to be like that, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, Skyrim is famous for that kind of thing, though.
Yeah. And when I saw it, it was a good chuckle, just like a snow fox that was. Its tail was stuck in a rock. It was spinning around. So.
Yeah.
And today I killed a Forsworn who, when she died, she like merged into a rock wall that she was leaning against. Just weird shit like that. So
happened a few times already. More than I used to have happen in the other game. I've blasted people in the walls and they've disappeared.
Yeah, I wonder if it has to do with the higher frame rate.
I've definitely heard more clipping, right? Victor, someone was saying that in the group just not a couple days ago, that they have a higher rate of people falling through the floor.
I don't know if he said higher rate, but he was wondering about it, and I don't remember him saying higher rate. Maybe he did, but yes, that happens. So you kill somebody, and it's only bad if it's something you need on that. Then you have to go back a save.
Yeah, and actually, she her like toe or elbow or something was outside the wall, so I was still able to get her stuff. And the other, I did notice one of the dragon attacks. I was getting really bad frame rates, which is pretty unusual on Xbox. It's usually pretty consistent that you get your frame rate's usually pretty good, but I had one sequence of really bad frame rates during a dragon attack. But it's not every dragon; it was just one. Maybe I was due for a restart or something. So really, really enjoying it. I was sharing with you guys, a couple of you guys on the Facebook Messenger earlier about the one downside is just some of the return of some of the like terrain glitch. Well, not glitches, but just it's really difficult to navigate some of the mountains, and that was something that in Fallout 4 they sort of took that out. There's really not a lot of difficult to get over terrain. Whereas in New Vegas, there's a lot in Skyrim because of all the mountainous terrain. So that's just an annoyance. You got to learn to deal with it. You guys gave me the tip to buy a horse, and that's definitely helping. So definitely having a lot of fun with it. Clearly massive depth in the game. I'm at level 25 now. I'm 5 quests in, so we're covering 3 today, but I've done actually the first 2 of the next episode. But I've also done a lot of the side quests. I've got the Dawn Guard, special person that helps you with the Dawn Guard. I've got her. I'm not doing the thing she tells you to do, and she's with me as a companion. I don't know if I'm sure you guys know she won't go away. You can't dismiss her.
Yeah.
Not yet. Anyway.
Welcome to the
party. Later there'll be a point where I can, but she said no, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I have Lydia, and I have that chick, and I have my own character. So I've got this little posse of gals running around.
You might as well go get Verilis.
Fucking Andrew too.
You might as well go get Verilis. You might as well go get Esbern. You can get both of those guys, and you can get Barbas. You could have another 3 tacked onto that party if you wanted to, and you could summon an Atronach if you get your conjuration up to 100 too.
Oh, well, I do have to ask, since we're kind of talking, jumping around a little bit. All right, so I'm in the middle of a dungeon, and all of a sudden, it's Serana, right? That's the
Yeah.
Well, all right. So not to spoil too much for new players, but Serana is the character. So all of a sudden, we're in a dungeon, and there's this guy with us called Serana's Adventurer.
Oh, yeah.
Does she enthrall people or something and bring them along?
She was a zombie adventurer. Yeah. Raised him up. She's a necromancer.
Okay.
I think most vampires can do that.
He was in a dungeon, and she conjured him up in a pool, and he was sitting there swimming with us because we were all in the pool and he never climbed out. So there's a zombie stuck in that pool.
He's just enjoying himself.
Yeah, what do you call a zombie in a bowl of hot water in a hot tub? Stew. Yeah.
Stew. Ew. Don't drink the stew. Hey, Pat, why don't we just keep rolling right with you and get into our character introduction? Why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
All right, so we used Marcus's lovely Google Docs spreadsheet application. So I rolled a female Bosmer, so that's the wood elf. So that was actually a little minor confusion that all the wood elf, dark elf, blah, 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 but then they've also got their sort of like race names as well as their characteristics. So I have a female Bosmer. So for the new players, we have the health, magicka, stamina system, and let me see if I can explain it correctly, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. So you have your three physical, mystical stats: health, stamina, and magicka. And if you roll one of the characters off the Roundtable doc, you will get a 1, 2, and a 3 for those three stats. What that means is for every 6 levels you go up, you will take 1 point of the one that you have 1 in, 2 points of the one you have 2 in, and 3 points of the one you have 3 in. So easiest way to do it is just to go 1, 2, 3 or 1, 3, 2 or whatever. So for my character, I have 1 health, 3 magicka, and 2 stamina, meaning that she's going to half the time she's going to get magicka, 2/3 stamina, and 1/3 she's going to get health. Is that clear enough? Did I explain that reasonably?
Yeah, that's just the proportion. It's just the ratio at which every 6 levels, 3 and whatever. And I just realized as I've been playing, I always thought it was health, magicka, stamina. It's actually magicka, health, stamina in that order across the screen. Anybody else notice that? I just noticed that for the first time.
That confused me because mine is 1, 3, 2, so magicka shows on the left, so I have to.
Sorry
which
about
actually
that.
For me is okay because magicka is half of the time I'm doing magicka, so it works out all right.
Well, we'll change the sheet to match that,
Marcus,
so it's not as confusing.
Jump to it, Marcus. Come on, you're slacking.
No, that's my bad.
So
Awesome.
all right, so back to the skills for my character. It's actually a really good starter character. It's the sneaky archer archetype leaps to the fore here. Her warrior skill is archery. Her mage skill is destruction, and her thief skill is sneak. So she is literally a sneaky archer with a destruction bent. And I'll get into as I'll just go ahead and do the character, and we'll talk about the way I'm playing her later on. Maybe her Civil War side will be the Empire. She is a warlock class. So for new players, a little confusing. There are no classes in the game, but the warlock class is a suggestion about how to play this character. So somewhat, which I think goes really well with the destruction magic. The idea of a warlock with destruction magic, I think, is very good match there. In terms of so Civil War side, if I wind up playing the Civil War side quest, she'll be an Empire supporter. She has the faction of the Bard's College, which I've done that side quest, or at least the initial side quest to be admitted to the college. Her suggested alignment is good. So again, that's an RP thing only. There's no rule of good, evil, neutral in the game, but the suggestion is to RP her, to skew her as a good player. She's eventually going to marry Octave San. That's going to be her spouse. Borgok the Steelheart will be her humanoid follower. I haven't run into Borgok yet, so that's in my future. Bran will be carried in a basket on her back as her other follower. Hodor. Let's see. Other aspects of the character. The Guardian Stone for her will be the Lover Stone, which lets her learn skills 15% faster. She's going to get Valindral Hall as her location, and that's a housecarl of Argus. And she actually already has adopted Blaze the Orphan from
nice.
Solitude, found at Catless Farm.
Where's Blaze staying?
Blaze. So I got
Whiterun?
Breeze home because I wanted a place to put my shit. So I went ahead and got Breeze home. because it's right there in Whiterun, really easy to get, lots of good access to forges and alchemy stands and everything else. Michael covered this really well in one of his early Skyrim Addict podcasts, that Whiterun is just, you start off close to Whiterun. There's everything's easily placed there. It's a good base location to start from. And I'm actually right now working on getting enough gold to go buy Valendril Hall. I was able to figure that quest out. It's a little confusing. So
I'm literally talking to the Jarl guy right now, trying to figure out the same thing that you were just doing.
Yeah. And the confusing thing was the quest that he wants you to do is not named that quest in the quest. It's a miscellaneous. It's not a.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
It's sort of the way that it was described on the USP wiki was different from the way it showed up in the quest log. So I think Colin, you or Victor, one of you guys pointed me to the right way it was listed, and that was very helpful. So maybe I'll just rock into my character background and then pause and see if you guys have any questions or comments or anything. So I mentioned to Andrew, I think on the charity stream as we were doing the rolls, that what I wanted to do when I saw how this character rolled out, I wanted to hark back to an old school D&D character I played back in college using the Arduin Grimoire expansion. Well, it really wasn't an expansion; it was a whole standalone set of role playing books where it brought in a dark elf race called the Deodans, and that was actually picked up from a Jack Vance novel, which I haven't read, but that was the origin. So Deodanth was the race, and they were kind of these creepy, pretty nasty dark elves, and he was an evil character, and that character's name was Bane. So what I decided to do with this character was to call her Banya Deodanth. That's her name. She's a wood elf. She's very young. So for a wood elf, I assume she's probably maybe 20 or 30. So quite young for a wood elf. She was raised in a family that actually a fairly sort of kind of mobbed up wood elves. They lived in a town that sort of it was an imperial town, sort of bordering over there by I forget the name of the dark elf area of the continent, but sort of over where the dark elves were, and they had sort of taken up with dark elves, and they were sort of part of some dark elves. They were typically up to no good, and one time one thing that was really meant a lot to Banya when she was growing up was her family. It was actually kidnapped an imperial noble. It was a young noblewoman, and they were holding her for ransom, and Banya was assigned to take care of this young noble who was being held for ransom. And of course she wound up being held for ransom over a course of many months, and Banya got to know her and really understand that what her family, all the crimes and the darkness in her family wasn't right. And this young imperial noble really convinced Banya that she should turn over a new leaf. She should give up her family, and it was actually a really turning point in Banya's life that she had this experience with this young imperial noble. And unfortunately, it did not end well for this young noblewoman because of some miscommunication with her family. Maybe the ransom was a little too high or whatever. She ultimately was not successfully ransomed. She was killed by the dark elves, and Banya's family, who were somewhat subservient to the dark elves, just did their bidding and killed her. And Banya she really took that to heart, and it crushed her. And she left home, and she decided she was going to go back into the empire and try to track down this young noblewoman's family and explain what happened and really frankly apologize and put herself at the mercy of that family because she thought it was the right thing to do. But as she was heading for the empire, she happened to, the way their village was situated, she wound up going close to Helgen, and that's where she got caught up in the whole issue. And of course the Imperial soldiers wanted no part of that, no part of her little sob story, and she found herself in the tumbrel on the way to the chopping block.
They never do, Pat. You never find any sympathy from those motherfuckers. That's
right. It's just like a bunch of stormtroopers. So just real quick in terms of how I'm playing her, is I'm playing her as a character that she's a sneak, maybe a little bit of a sneak thief at heart, but also trying to turn over a new leaf. So she's done a few things. She got herself mixed up in the Dark Brotherhood briefly, but then as soon as she realized what a creepy mess that was, she got away from that. Thieves Guild, she's in the Thieves Guild, but it's not sure if it's really compatible with where she wants to take her life. So right now she's trying to help people out. She's adopted Blaze and another orphan. trying to help out the Dawn Guard and their good work to rid Skyrim of vampires. So that's what she's doing now. And oh, by the way, what the hell is up with these dragons?
Nice.
So that's her backstory.
That's great. That's very overly. I mean, not overly. That's compared to me. That is very in depth, and I don't really have anything. I try to compete with these guys. Not compete, but I try to keep up with these guys with the stories. I get blown away by all these people with their backstories. People in the Facebook group are submitting these awesome backstories, and Pat, you just had an awesome backstory, and I'm just like, I just kind of play for fun. I don't know.
Hey, the nice thing is you can do both. That's the game goes both ways. You can put all the backstory you want in there, or you can. I think that's. I'm already looking forward to the next character that we'll try to do something completely different.
That's the great thing about these games is they just start stacking up the ideas for the next character and the next character, and I think that's another reason why Victor never gets through level 20, 30 or whatever. He likes to play a bunch of different And he has relatives of all the different characters. If you're new to the show, Victor has like a whole family of, is it Bretons?
Oh, I have Breton family.
Breton family, Nord families.
Yeah, I have lots of different families.
It's awesome. So Victor likes to play lots of different playthroughs. So this is incredible. So let's get into some more characters. Michael, what kind of role did you get handed this time through?
So this time, let me pause my game. I am a Khajiit.
Oh, a Khajiit. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't played Khajiit in a little while.
I've never played one.
A Roundtable a while ago. Rest in peace, Lord Tubbington.
Oh, Tubbington.
Yes. So I have a Khajiit, and my health magicka stamina is 213. And I do it. I do the 2 health, I do the 1 magicka, and then I do the 3 stamina. That's just to make it easier for me to remember. As I'm going through the levels, that way I know where I'm at all the time. Instead of going 1 1 1 1 1,
that's too hard to keep track of it.
Yeah,
that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's way too hard to keep track of. So this way, I know every 6 levels I should have done 2, 1, and 3.
Yeah,
it's just easier for me. My skills are smithing, alteration, and light armor, and I've really tried to incorporate them heavily into the character. Alteration's tough. I'm running the one. What is the one mod? The magic mod. What the hell is it called?
Apocalypse?
Yes, Apocalypse. So that does add some more alteration spells. Still tough to really boost alteration to 100 early on. Transmuting stuff and all that. Class is a warlock. I don't know a lot about that, but what I've tried to do is implement a lot more magic into my game instead of going strictly sneaky archer. I'm sneaky magic and archer and double swords. So I've been trying to do that. And my house is Vindrel Hall and Atronax Stone, which I've really liked and have never used before. Atronax Stone is great. That's my guardian stone. And I'm in the process of heading to Whiterun right now to actually get Lucia because I have Vindrel Hall and I've been wandering. But so my character, I don't have like a super duper backstory, but my character name is, I have to look because I don't remember. Masquir, Masquir. I tried to keep it like a Khajiit type name as opposed to my normal names. So Masquir is, I believe I did an alt start, and I believe he ended up starting at the abandoned prison. And he's got a neutral, so I haven't really been pickpocketing or stealing or anything like that, or murdering randomly. Well, I mean, other than the normal murdering randomly.
Other than murdering like mages who aren't mages and stuff like that.
That kind of stuff. Those little things that happen when you're going across the countryside. And I've been walking everywhere and using Frostfall, so I've tried to make the character a little more realistic and slow, and just taking my time getting into it.
I saw a post where you were having to, every time you swam, like get out and make a campfire or something?
Yeah, well, because I've never played with Frostfall before, even on PC, and I went swimming up by Winterhold, and the water's a little cold up there.
There's a little secret. There's a little secret to that built into Frostfall. Have you figured it out yet?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
okay.
I figured it out. After I went from glacier to glacier building campfires and stuff. Thankfully I had wood and I could do that. But yeah, because I went up there because I'm a Stormcloak also. So I have actually, I feel dirty, but I have started the Stormcloak side of the Civil War story.
Oh, no.
I feel like I have to take a shower every time I play the game.
You're a Khajiit Stormcloak? Are you Blake or something? Gross.
Oh, and then today I talked to that guy. What's his name? Ulfric, and I'm like, oh God, no. Maybe I'll go swimming up north again. But anyway, here is somehow a Khajiit Stormcloak. I don't know how that really works out in the lore wise. Probably not real well.
Khajiit Stormcloak.
He's kind of just staying neutral and trying to figure out his way. And he learned of that Helgen thing. And since I didn't do the early quests because of the alt start, he's just kind of figuring it out as he goes along and just finding his way and really mostly focusing on joining with the Stormcloaks. And right now this dragon thing is kind of happening to him and he doesn't know why yet. So I'm just kind of playing him semi like a traveler who got lost and ended up in Skyrim and somehow found his way to the Stormcloaks because he hates like the Thalmor and stuff. So that at least gives me an alignment with the Stormcloaks because otherwise a Khajiit with the Stormcloaks makes absolutely no sense. So,
or it could be that you want to get close to Ulfric Stormcloak because he can use shouts, so he can probably teach you a thing or two.
That's true, but I haven't gotten that far in the dragon thing yet.
Nice.
I haven't gotten any shouts yet. I haven't gone to the Western Watchtower yet. Spoiler alerts.
No, me either.
I'm about to head back there, but yeah, and I've really been trying to focus hard on the skills that I have, and using smithing to make money and using alteration to make money, obviously with changing ore to gold, iron ore to gold. And light armor, I'm wearing light armor and going up that side, and I'm using Ordinator too, so that's helping.
I was just about to ask, what is your favorite alteration spell that Ordinator has added?
Well, Ordinator doesn't change the spells, but
or not.
whatchamacallit,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah, that's what
I have a few right now. Some of the ones I'm using are just to keep me warm. So,
Yeah.
Well, alteration that works well with the frostfall or whatever. Then.
yeah, that's helping. And also, there's this one Longstride. For when you're
Oh yeah.
encumbered. Oh man, it's awesome. When you get that little bit of over encumbered, you click that on, and you can go flying across the land.
Wait, what is that?
It's basically almost like a carry weight spell, essentially.
What is it called again?
Longstride.
Longstride. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
You actually move a little faster than normal with it, but you use it when you're over encumbered. So it adds
because until you get that whirlwind sprint, you just have no hope.
Yeah, so this was very helpful today. Like I got over encumbered, and it was stuff I didn't want to drop because I'm trying to make money, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was able to use that to get where I had to go, and it worked out pretty well.
You can't drop loot.
Oh, you know what one I've been using? Raise Wall is great.
I want to try that one. I saw that one in 3 different playthroughs, and I still haven't had a chance to fucking use it yet.
You know where I used it? Where the freak is the Lunar Forge? I used it at the Lunar Forge.
Oh, I was just over there.
So those guys are in that center forge area, and there's that one door out.
Yeah.
I set off a volcano in there, and then threw a wall up in front of the door. Volcano was another one of the spells. So it was very helpful for that. It was early on, so I was getting my ass handed to me by those guys. So there's 2 of them in there. So I set the volcano off, and then I raised the wall in front of them, and they couldn't get out. It was really fantastic fun.
Nice.
Raise wall. Awesome.
Yeah, raise wall is actually way more helpful than you think it would be.
Can you actually raise it like in 360? Can you entrap someone?
No, it just kind of blocks a path, essentially.
Nice. No, that's cool regardless.
In front of a passage somewhere. Like if a lot of Draugr were coming after you or something, just throw it up, and it'll give you a little breathing room,
That sounds like one of those really useful staves that I never use, like the spray in the ground in front of you that forms a wall. Those always sound really useful, but I never ever use those.
Yep. That was how I was too. I never really used them, but I've decided to really, since I had the warlock thing, to try and focus on that magic.
That's awesome. Good. Hey, Juan, let's check in with your character. What do you got going with your role?
I have an Imperial that is, I think I called
the race Imperial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me just a second. I'll pop.
No, that's fine.
Okay, here we go.
I'm hoping that you got the Stormcloak side of the.
Actually, yes,
Civil...
I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
A Stormcloak on the Imperials. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, male Imperial. My warrior skill is going to be block, mage skill enchanting, and thief skill sneak. I have the Civil War side. For a class, it recommended cleric, but it doesn't seem to work with the character that I'm wanting to play. So I'm not gonna really follow that because I'm kind of doing something weird. I'm doing heavy armor, shield, and spell in the other hand. So that's what I'm going with.
Oh, nice.
And he's sneaky, so.
Heavy armor sneaky, nice.
Yes.
Wow.
His faction is
awesome.
the Companions, which I went ahead and started that already. So that's pretty good. My spread is going to be 3, 1, 2. So 3 Magicka, 1 health, 2 stamina. Supposed to pick up Stembar, which I don't remember where he is, but hopefully I'll run into him at some point. I know my other follower is one of Andrew's favorites, which is Vigilance.
Oh yes, I love good puppy, good boy.
Yep. My spouse will be Filinjar. Filinjar? I don't know what she's filling it with, but there you go. And my home is also going to be Valindro Hall, so I went ahead and downloaded a Valindro Hall mod. So we'll see what that looks like.
Okay, just a brief check-in. So far, Pat, Valindro Hall. Michael, Valindro Hall. Juan, Valindro Hall. Andrew, Valindro Hall.
Yeah, that's why I went ahead and picked up the mod, so that it would be different than
Marcus
you guys'.
assured me, he promised me that was a 100% random occurrence.
Well, it's great. I've never used Vindrel Hall before, so I'm glad I got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because I avoid Mark Hearth like the plague.
Is that because of the Forsworn or the vertical relief of the city?
Yeah, there's the Forsworn. I feel like I never know where I'm at in the city. Yeah, mostly the Forsworn, though. I mean, who really wants to deal with
I'm
them?
still that way in Windhelm. I don't know Windhelm as well as other cities.
Yeah,
Windhelm, you know what?
Could be a little.
Yeah, it is the most convenient city, though. It's actually even more convenient than Whiterun.
How's that?
Because in the marketplace, you have the smithing right there.
Uh-huh.
You have enchanting right there.
Enchanting's in the market, too? Nice.
Alchemy right there. Yeah, there's an enchanting table right behind the one lady's booth.
Nice.
Yep.
So you can do everything right there.
Booth. You said booth, right?
Cool.
What's that?
Don't worry.
Sorry to interrupt, Juan.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And my orphan to adopt is Blaze as well, so should be interesting. I've already I'm working on my block, and I have some points in block, and I'm doing some destruction magic, so got that going, and he's got some nice armor, and I'm only level 7 right now, so I'm doing pretty slow play and just kind of going around and looking. One interesting thing about the Imperial, though, is you make gold really quick.
Yeah.
Because their perk is at a chest, you get more gold than you normally would as any other character. So that's their bonus that they have. Because I was wondering, I'm like, why do I have so much gold? I don't remember ever having this much gold this early on in the game. And so I was looking, and yeah, that's his perk. So
for the Imperial.
Yeah, for an Imperial.
His race power, or whatever it's called, the passive power.
Correct.
Wow, that's neat. Do you have to activate that?
No, it just
that's
is.
That's nice. Cool.
It's kind of like how what is it? The Red Guards or Bretons have defense against magic, 25%.
Or the red. What are they? The Dark Elves have fire resistance of 25% or something like that.
Yeah, the Bosmer have 50% disease resistant, but every time I fight a damn wolf, I get rock joint. I've had like 5 cases of rock joint.
Wow. Yeah,
Pat,
you have to get your disease or
Pat, have you figured out how a good way to cure diseases and stuff yet?
Usually the easiest thing is to go to one of the temples and hit up a shrine.
Attaboy.
It's free and in every city.
Good boy.
But always carry a cure disease potion just in case I get stuck out in the wilderness.
Nice. I don't even know if I've come across one of those yet.
Cure disease.
Yeah.
I think I have 4 or 5 floating in there.
I don't buy them.
You get a lot of them when you join the companions because, of course, all of
werewolves, vampires, and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if I know how to make it yet, but I bought one early or kept one that I found, and I'm not sure I've actually had to use it, but I feel like it's a I was getting so much rock joint, I didn't want to be caught out without some penicillin.
You'll be happy to know, Michael, that I've already spent some time. I put on my waders and hopped in the river and got myself some salmon roe and a chicken egg.
Gosh. I still have never gotten salmon roe.
Salmon roe and a chicken egg, everybody. Mix it
I am
up.
terrible at it.
You just got to position yourself in one spot and then just sort of spam the button
Actually,
while the fish go by.
You want to know how I do it? I get it so I'm facing upstream, and then I let the water push me down the waterfall, but I'm pushing against it, so I'm jumping up the stream, so you don't actually go backwards very quickly. And then the fish kind of jump in front of your line of vision, and if you spam the jump button and the grab button sort of at the same time, if you're fighting against the current, jumping up against the current, that's a really great way to go fishing.
If you were really good at Galaga or something like that, it'd be great.
Galaga, yes, exactly. That's awesome.
No, I've always stood on the rock in the middle and just kind of get them as they're leaping in front of me.
Or I've seen Michael has mentioned that people will Fusroda them when they jump.
Yeah,
you can shout them out of the water.
Yeah, you really got to have some great timing to do that. It seems.
Yeah. But there are ways. Yeah. Anyway, sorry I interrupted someone. What were we doing? Juan, did you have any more on your character?
No, I think I'm done. That's
okay.
He's supposed to be neutral, so he's kind of
so you can kind of do whatever you want. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the one thing,
at your best judgment.
The one way that I am kind of playing him is that he's a little bit vain and he's kind of looking to make a name for himself, which is the reason he's joining the companions, because he thinks that there's some glory in there, and it fits right in with the fact that he gets more gold from chests and stuff as well. So that cool. Was a happy coincidence as well.
That's cool.
I'm running the original Skyrim. I'm not running the SE. So I'm running the Real Vision ENB, which is really nice.
I don't know what that means.
It's just a graphical modification.
Yeah, it told me to go ahead and just add a whole bunch of other mods, which stuff's like Climates of Tamriel, Supreme Storms, True Storms, Lightning during Thunderstorms, Enhanced Lights and Effects, and I also added Simply Bigger Trees. So it's interesting because nights are really dark. I've never had to use the candlelight so much in any other playthrough.
Nice. That's cool. I like the addition of lots of different mods that make you have to play the game and actually use a lot of different tools in the tool chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So cool. Thanks, Juan, for your introduction. I'm really looking forward to having you aboard all season long. And so we've got me and Victor and Colin to get through. Victor, do you have a nice backstory and everything with your character you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I do have a backstory. Yeah.
Is this another family tree, another branch in a tree that we're familiar with?
Well, I believe I posted it on the group. So yes, it is in a sort of a sideways kind of way. She's well. Let me get to my. Do you want me to start with my character then?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. So let me just start with what I got for a role here. She is similar to Pat's character in a couple of ways. She's Bosmer, female. She has warrior skill of archery and the thief skill of sneak, so a perfect natural sneaky archer. But her mage skill is conjuration. Her spread is of 1 magicka and 2 health and 3 stamina. So it makes it pretty simple. 1, 2, 3. Her faction is the Companions. Her class is fighter, and that's going to work in a little bit to the character. Her alignment is evil, and that's going to work in one of the more sort of classic evil ways. But anyway, it's sort of nuanced. But anyway, her guardian stone is the Mage Stone, which is simple enough. It's one of the 3 major standing stones there. So she got that very early. So that all said, we can get into spouses and all that other stuff later. But I'm going back to my Skyrim roots and playing on the Xbox One. So I'm not playing on PC. I've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in Skyrim on PC. So I decided this would be great. So I went with the Xbox One, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Of course, I am using mods. So just briefly, I'm using Ordinator. I'm using Apocalypse. I am using another mod by the same author that does Ordinator and Apocalypse called Imperius. So I should just quickly mention Imperius because it adjusts the racial attributes. And so it's a really good mod. It's pretty simple. So for a Bosmer, you get slightly different starting values for your health, magic, and stamina. That's whatever, and slightly different regeneration rates that are carried on by the mod. You get 3 sort of, I guess they're passive racial abilities. The Green Pact. Actually, it's not quite passive, but the Green Pact ability, ritually eat the corpses of the dead, and in order to do that, you have to be in sneak and loot the corpse. A Harrier, which is a spirit bird, and it will mark certain animals as and enemies occasionally too. As you're playing, you'll hear the sound of the bird call, and the animal will be highlighted in green, and you can either hunt it or not. And Wild Senses, which is detect moving targets in a large radius by standing still when sneaking. So it's like almost a little bit like having infrared vision. You can see enemies at a distance and through objects if you do that, stand still while sneaking. And those are all pretty cool. So it's a little different. And Enai Cyan also added quest rewards to each of the races. So once you have hunted 10 of the Harrier prey, you get something called Beast Tongue, and that is once a day you can call to a nearby predator, making it a permanent ally until released, which is kind of cool. So those are the racial things that I'm getting out of Imperius. I have a bunch of other mods, but those are the 3 most important playing mods. Oh, well, I'm using I Need and Campfire, which is Campfire is an element of Frostfall. I chose this time not to use Frostfall, even though I have it loaded. I did not activate it because I thought, I've done that. I don't want to do it anymore. So that's the background. So my character's name is actually Anuriel of Fern Hollow. That's the name she was born with. She was born in the north of Valenwood. She was an excitable young lass, curious, did a lot of mischievous things when she was young, spent time in the nearby city near her parents' farm. as it were. The Bosmer don't really farm, but her parents were wrought meth brewers, and there are vineyards in that part of Valenwood, so they did have a vineyard. The Bosmer do produce wine. Certain elements of the Bosmer do some wine production. Anyway, so she grew up. She's a happy child, and sometime around she was around 15. Her parents shipped her off down into the heart of Valen with her uncle, where she lived for several years, learning more about Bosmer culture and Bosmer history, and she kind of immersed herself in that and did take the oath of the Green Pact. Now, I don't know if people know what the Green Pact is. The Bosmer who live in these great forests and live in trees that actually migrate. These are huge, sort of semi-sentient tree organisms that move across the countryside, and the Bosmer build their cities in them. And so she lived there and became a follower of the Green Pact, among other things. And hang on one second, guys.
Sounds like somebody was cooking there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Pat, unmute yourself.
Sorry about that.
Okay. You, Pat.
Things get picked up in the background. So anyway, so she learned a lot of things while she was living in the city near Greatwood, and eventually she left. I'm not going to go into all kinds of detail. If you want to read the little thing I wrote, it's up there on the website or on the Facebook group. She left and went out to adventure. She went to Hammerfell and fell in love with an Alakar warrior there who was then killed. She left there and went to the Imperial City and learned a lot of things there, but eventually ended up in Bruma, which is a city in the north of Cyrodiil near the border of Skyrim. And there she met Lokir. And if anybody who's played Skyrim may recognize that name. And she met and fell in love with Lokir, and they had a really great time together, just sort of doing stuff and stealing and doing risky things and playing. And but eventually they were near the border of Skyrim, and they stole a horse, and the rest is, as they say, history. So they're in the cart, and Lokir is panicking because he realizes who he's with, and he realizes this is Ulfric, and he knows what's going to happen to them, and he panics. And when they get to Helgen, he panics and runs, and he's shot. And so right in front of her, the great love of her life is shot down by Imperial archers. And so as the young man, Hadvar, asks her name, she is kind of in shock, and she changes her name. And her name is Frea for cold, and Hawthorn for the thorns, and for her vengeance against the Imperials. And so Frea Hawthorn is now roaming around Skyrim, and at every opportunity she can, she is killing Imperial soldiers, which is going to be interesting because her faction is supposed to be the Imperials on the side of the Civil War. But we'll work that out at some point.
I like how she was happy but evil.
Well, evil.
Or maybe she wasn't evil. Yeah.
No. Evil doesn't necessarily mean you have to be bad. Evil can have a lot of nuanced sides to it. So she's not evil bad, but she's certainly evil amoral. She has no compunctions about stealing, and conjuration is fun. So she's being an archer, of course. She's now level 18, so we've done a lot. We've only done a few of the main quests, but she's well into the companions. She's now a werewolf, which is also kind of hinky with the Bosmer, but the Bosmer have a history of shape-shifting, so it kind of works a little bit. And she's done the Ill Met by Moonlight quest, so she has the Ring of Hercene. And it's one of the Daedric quests for anybody who's interested. So she's roaming around and just creating havoc where she can.
Well, that's incredible. Very nice, Victor. Thank you for your introduction. I like that. And I'd like to encourage anyone, if you're sitting out there and you're not in our Facebook group, please join our Facebook group so you can read. People are posting these character backgrounds and everything. That's facebook.com/groups/a Skyrim Addict podcast.
Yeah, and you can post your own there, or you can send in your own by a audio feedback.
Yeah, we also love hearing about your character feedback. Use the voice memo app on your phone. Send it in. Skyrim Roundtable @gmail.com. Colin, sir, would you like to introduce your character to us?
Yeah, sure. My character's name is Clesia Iridia. She is an Imperial female. The skills that she's going to be using is two-handed, enchanting, and pickpocket. So far, two-handed is going great. I'm in the 90s. Enchanting, I'm in the about 75, 76 area.
Nice.
Pickpocket is coming up dead last at around about 23, I'm afraid.
that is part of the level for sure.
It's tough. It's a grind.
It gets even harder because Clesia Iridia is a very good person, and everybody is going to love her because she's a good girl. The stat spread she's been given is Magica 1, Health 2, and Stamina 3. So it's a perfect 1, 2, 3. So it's easy for me to get in. Her spouse is going to be Lydia. And I don't know whether this was added by Orlo or whether it was already in the game, because I don't think I've ever had Lydia as a follower while my character was a female. But every once in a while, when you go initiate a conversation with her, she turns around and she goes, "Yes, my lady." And that just makes her toes curl every time she hears Lydia saying that. So if it's originally from the game, from the vanilla game, that's great. But if it was added by Orlo, then even awesomer. It's an even better mod than it was before. Her house was also Vlindrel Hall, but I done a quick shufty on Marcus's excellent stat generator and redone myself a new house, which was the one that you get from Morthal. So that's the one I'm going to be getting, which is Heljarkin.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Hearthfire house?
Yes, the Hearthfire house of Morthal. My follower is Farkas from the Companions, and I was supposed to have the Armored Frost Troll as my other follower, and my faction was supposed to be the Volkir Vampire Clan. But you can't have both. You can't have the Frost Troll and be a part of the Volkir Vampire Clan. So I done another thing and stabbed Marcus's things one more time, and it choked me up a faction of the Dawn Guard, which just basically flipped it. So I went with that.
I need to make note of that because not that I'm demanding or whatever, but Marcus would want to know that sort of thing. He was going through and at least on the Fallout one, correcting little contradictory things like, oh, because this one drew the Lone Wanderer, that affects this over here. So he would want to know that connection. So if you draw the Volkihar Vampire Clan as your faction, you cannot have the Armored Frost Troll as your second follower.
Yes.
I need to make note of that.
Okay.
Marcus is that, so.
Hey, Marcus, you're awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible, his work.
So I'm with I now have Dawn Guard as my faction now. The Civil War side is the Empire. The orphan I'm supposed to adopt is Elisan. He's a Red Guard male from Dawnstar.
But the
class
kid who runs
was
between the
given
mines
was Monk or Mystic. Now that's what I was trying to use that to do my pickpocketing, because Clesia is such a good-hearted woman. She wasn't going to steal from people, so she wasn't using pickpocket to steal people's money. I was going to try and use it as trying to disarm people. But obviously the perk to be able to take equipped weapons is like level 70. So it's a little bit difficult. The only thing she can take off them is their arrows and an iron dagger here and there. So that's why it's going so slowly. Plus she's in heavy armor, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit difficult. But what I did find that with pickpocket, you have to go into sneak, but you don't have to be hidden to be able to pickpocket them.
Nope.
You can look them directly in the eye. All it is going into sneak is the activation. It's basically like pressing Y to jump. You have to go into sneak to activate to use pickpocket, but they can be looking directly at you. It's a skill of being able to look them, distract them by looking at the eyes, talking to them, and then whip it out of the pocket.
That's great.
So can you like put like a gold piece in their pockets? Like if you like find somebody poor, you like give them charity with the pickpocket.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can do gold, but you can pretty much do it. Pass anything into their pockets. You can reverse pickpocket them. Yes,
that's great. Hey, Colin, do you have any plans on poisoning? Because I always thought that was a really fun thing through the pickpocket tree that I never really got to master. That I always thought would be a really fun way to play it.
She hates alchemy. It's too
that's
boring.
too bad. Okay. How about I wish that you could put like a poisonous insect into someone's pocket or something. You know what I mean? That'd be fun. Yeah. Get on that, Mod Riders.
Well, they have the poison apple.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I could do that.
You can pull a Snow White.
Let's see. Her alignment was neutral, so she doesn't have any particular alignment of whether to do good, but she is a very good girl, and everybody should like her. The mage and the guardian stone is the mage stone, so she learns magic skills 20% faster. There is another school that I am using of magicka, and that is restoration. So she is a bit of a cleric. She has restoration up to level 76 now. And she's healing up a storm. She's using grand healing. With her enchanting, it's very cheap now as well. So she can enchant stuff to make it ever cheaper. About her history, about who she is, I don't think I have to go too deep into it, seeing as most of you have already met her. Clesia Iridia, or should I say Captain Clesia Iridia, arrived in Helgen about a week before all you guys did, apart from those of you using Alt Star anyway. She was sent there on a special mission by General Tullius to take over Helgen, to be in charge of all the executions that will be happening in all of Skyrim. So she wasn't particularly too pleased that on the day she had her foot firmly on the back of some Bosmer that was just about to have its head chopped off when his dragon came out of absolutely nowhere and ruined her day. It even knocked all her heavy armor off of her, so her and Hadvar had to run into the keep, and she changed into light armor and picked up her original weapon of a two-handed warhammer, and then her and Hadvar made their escape. But she's in hiding at the moment because the executions weren't exactly legal, and Ellen Wynn was there to let her know, and Ellen Wynn doesn't really take too kindly be told, "Fuck off, you elven bitch, get out." So that's why she's been running around Whiterun and Morgoth. She has been firmly told by General Tullius that unless it's absolutely imperative, do not come to Solitude. And for the love of all the 8 divines, do not go anywhere near Annie Thalmor, especially not the embassy. So she's been running around and staying clear of everybody, but, she's been doing stuff here and there. So hopefully she won't have to go anywhere near Solitude, because if she does, the whole shit's going to go down. That's it. That's all. I'm done.
Wonderful. Thank you, Colin.
Nice.
Really nice.
And again, Colin also has written a little backstory on the Facebook page. Again, go ahead and join the Facebook group, everybody.
What backstory? I didn't write a backstory on there.
I thought you wrote something. Other people did at least.
Facebook, that was on your Fallout Apocalypse things.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Joke.
No, but I that was the best. I just meant everybody's writing a backstories and everything on there. My backstory is not very involved. How I'm working it is I have a male Argonian here that I named Curing Tinker Keeps. I named him that in the faction that those are his 3 schools that he needs to concentrate on. Curing, because he is a restoration guy. Tinker, because he's a smithing person. And Keeps, I don't know, it's sort of a stretch, but light armor. So, a keep can be used for protection, light armor. I don't know. So, Curing Tinker Keeps is my male Argonian. The Civil War side I drew was for the Empire. So, I'm trying to weave this into the story that maybe he's not so much for the Empire, but he is by force being on the side of the Empire because of his dirty deeds in his past life. The Empire has captured his family, and they are holding them hostage. So in return for their release, the Empire is forcing Curing Tinker Keeps to go into Skyrim to figure out what's going on with this Ulfric Stormcloak character. So he's a forced spy by the Empire, sort of. So I don't have a whole deep background, and I don't even know if this would work in lore stuff anyway, but that's sort of how I'm kind of playing the character. I have a health of 3, 2, 1, magic of 2, stamina of 1. Nice and easy for me to remember. Again, smithing, restoration, and light armor. Humanoid follower. Humanoid. I like that it's not human follower anymore. Humanoid follower is. You made a whole big deal about that. Is Ogle, which is awesome because I've actually used Ogle before and I like him. He's an orc from Lagbrashore down there, sort of on the way to Riften. But I've already done his quest and I've acquired Ogle. I also already made a stop over by Markarth and picked up Vigilance. And because I wanted to pick up my house as well, so right now my character is on the way to do all that stuff to go get Valendra Hall. So again, let's check in. Has everyone gotten Valendra Hall? Who did not?
I got Proudspire Manor.
Okay, Victor got something
You're
else.
Different.
So that is
but
so
I've already
weird.
built the Lakeview Manor because she needed.
I like Lakeview.
She'll get to Proudspire later.
I have Proudspire Manor, Heljarkin, Lindril Hall, Breeze Home. I think that's it.
Where do you store? Do you have a home base where you do most of your storage of stuff, or do you kind of set up everywhere?
No, Heljarkin because Marcus's machine told me to.
Oh, okay.
I have Anissa's cabin.
I love Anissa.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a good little spot.
Hey, Juan, just go ahead and tell us really quick what Anissa cabin is and why it's useful.
Well, Anissa's cabin is owned by a lovely, friendly old lady who you meet across the river on your way to Riverwood. Apparently, she turns really ugly and mean if you go downstairs and discover her dirty little secret that she's trying to start a coven, and she'll attack you, and then you can go ahead and kill her. And everything that's down below it still marks it as stolen, but you can store stuff in there and you don't have to worry about losing it.
Yeah, it's great right off the bat. If you need it at a place for storage, you can kill an old woman and take her house. So congratulations, everyone.
You guys had told me about Anissa's cabin, but I decided there's no way to figure out. At least I couldn't figure out to sort of prove she was a witch without like breaking into her basement. So that I'd say that wasn't a good act. So I didn't do that. I figured it was kind of a bad thing to do, to break into this poor old lady's basement. What's my business of yours? What she does in the basement?
I just wanted to use her alchemy station.
Yeah, she has alchemy in the basement.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And enchanting.
Enchanting's down there too. So it actually is a great little starter home.
And there's also a really nice little mod, Anissa's Cabin Remodeled, which
nice.
It sets all the containers to not respawn, because some of them still respawn after you've taken care of Anisse and taken over the place. So you got to watch where you put your stuff.
I think everything in the basement is safe. I don't remember.
Everything in the basement is safe.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a barrel upstairs.
But one of them is, and the other one's not.
Yeah. As long as you go just to the basement, that's probably your best bet.
Yeah.
So finishing out my character, this other stuff, neutral. Who knows? The College of Winterhold, I'm supposed to be a mage, so that'll be fun. I enjoy going through Tolfdir's portion there.
Go swimming up there; it's fun.
I need to load that mod. I can't go over mods. We'll get into more mods and stuff later, I'm sure. Halbarn, I don't know who that is. Ironfur, someone up in Solstheim, evidently. I'm supposed to be a druid, and druid, I could be excited to work with. From what my research is, I don't really know how to present that in Skyrim other than summoning things like wolves and animals. I'm not sure how else, because they're supposed to be like sort of a protector of the realm. Of
nature.
They're protector of the nature realm. Yeah. So I'm not sure how to do that.
Protecting nature against. So you'd want to be, you'd want to be very focused on protecting nature and animals and
So don't kill any of the Spriggans.
No.
Right.
Even though they're aggro to me.
Go for the shouts like Animal Allegiance and stuff like shouts.
So I am going to try to incorporate some conjuration with like the is it called a familiar? Is that the wolf? Yeah. And stuff like that. So I can have some animals and stuff. And I'll try to play around, see if I can find more ways to make the druid come out. If you guys can think of anything else, of course, mention it.
You definitely you have to do the Elder Gleam, quest.
Yeah, I was going to say the moth. What are those? The moth priest people and stuff. Pay attention to that sort of thing.
Yeah, go after all the hag ravens. I mean, that kind of stuff.
What's your armor type?
I got light armor, and actually I have some cool mods for my light armor right now. I like it a lot.
So like you'd want to do like natural material, like Forsworn armor would be good for your guy, right? Because it's all hides and animals and shit like that,
Yeah, but the Forsworn would be complete anathema to a druid, right?
They killed the animals.
Well, no. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to be. You don't have to be against the use of animals for like. You could play a druid who will hunt and kill, but they'll it's kind of the sort of thanking the animal for giving them up, and it's sort of a nose to tail. You don't waste any part of the animal. You don't do things gratuitously. If you need a part of an animal, you can take it, but you have to celebrate the animal. You'd be sort of anti machinery and like all like the dwarven machinery and all that stuff would be very counter anathema to your character. So that's at least that's how like a D&D character would, like a D&D druid, where they were true neutral. They were all about balance with nature, and their whole focus was on protecting nature against sort of all extremes of good or evil. Nice. Or you could play it like you could go like a Spinal Tap and dance around a 3 foot tall sofa. that would work too. When the druid stands.
Oh, Pat.
So where are you with your restoration, Andrew?
Well, I'm really liking which mod did I add that has really flowered my restoration tree there? What's that one called?
Apocalypse. Ordinary. You're talking about the tree, the perk tree, Ordinary.
Yeah, the perk tree itself is very nice. So just a couple mage. It used to be candlelight that would just pop up above your head, but now they have one that restores health. And I just think incredible. Why was that not part of the game? And that is the definition of a good mod, when you're like, why was this not a part of the game already? You know, that I love stuff like that. So I am enjoying it, and we can get into lots of mods here and next time we gather together. But if anyone do they have any other closing thoughts with your characters or anything, we'll go ahead and say good night for this week. Anybody, do you have anything else you'd like to get into before we close out the show?
Not that I can think of.
No, not right now.
Nice. Well,
quick, just
plenty
quick
of time.
yes,
quick
Michael.
show-related stuff, real quick.
Yes, please go ahead.
If you're new, we have a lot of new listeners, so make sure you check out. We have Let's Play Skyrim, which is our audio Let's Play. We have Game Talk, ASA Game Talk, which Jeremy runs. What else do we have? Fallout Feed, which we canceled this week after Andrew professed love for Jar Jar Binks.
I'm sorry, guys. We're canceled.
Earwash is coming back. We have the Chatterbox.
Earwash Show, Chatterbox. I've heard, I don't know if it's being announced yet or not. I don't know if I should not be saying this, but Victor, are you actually working on another something?
Kyle Brandon and I are working on a mod show. Kyle is doing a lot of stuff for that, so that'll be coming up in the next couple of 3 weeks. Probably we'll do our first episode. So perfect. Yeah, but I'm afraid that we hate Jar Jar too. So.
Oh no! Come on, guys. All I'm saying is that people get so worked up and they get frothy at the mouth, and then they get worked out of control, and we all just need to settle down.
Yeah, but if you don't retract that, you might not get to play with immersive armors.
Oh my god! Oh no! Okay, I'm sorry. Jar Jar sucks. Fuck you, Jar Jar. Goodbye.
Who is rapping? Overkeen. Dragons are not overkeen. I'll dice them like a knife, slicing right through an
Thank you for downloading this episode of a Skyrim Addict podcast roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing skyrimroundtable@gmail.com. For the Skyrim Random Stats Character Generator, the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, My Journey with CF, a Skyrim Addict podcast, the Chatterbox, ASA Game Talk, our YouTube channel, as well as other content. Your 5-star review on iTunes is greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you for downloading, and no lollygagging.
Following total atomic annihilation, it may fall to you to save the great nation. That's why Voltech has made extra preparation and are proud to present to you a special education.
Would you like a very spiffy, brand new ASA podcasting t-shirt? Well, that's great, because we have 2 brand new designs, one for a Skyrim Addict and one for the Fallout Feed, over at etsy.com/shop/ASA podcasting.